Hello, everyone. This is Marianne West, and I'm here with
Jenise Fryatt,
and
and we
our
are
the
the Sustainable
Sustainable
Living
Living Podcast.
Podcast.
We still haven't figured out how to say it all together. So, what do we want to do in our podcast, Janice?
We want to share the idea of the more beautiful world that our hearts know is possible, as Charles Eisenstein puts it. Basically, we look around, and I'm sure we're like you. You see a lot of things that need to be fixed in the world. And we constantly focus on that. And we don't focus on what we want the world to change into, right? Because, you know, it's we don't have examples. We don't see examples of how people can get along in a society, how an economic system could work, how we can go about our daily lives without hurting Mother Earth. And so that's what our podcast is about from my perspective. How about you, Mariana?
Yeah, so we are sharing or trying to share some of our experience, and we are called Sustainable Living. So we feel like this is the minimum we can do at this point, that we sustain what we have, and we really encourage people to maybe even become more regenerative in this thinking. So basically, in our podcast, some of our episodes are hands-on. This is how you raise chickens, for example, or this is how you can fish. We did some of those in the beginning. And we even talked about things like, how do you cope with a death in the family? This was Janice went through. And so we talked about that. And then we are interviewing people which are thinkers and leaders in different areas. So I think basically what we are trying to do is to provide tools how to do things, to give hope, maybe just for ourselves, that we feel something else is possible. So that's what we're all about. And we are putting this video out because we love our podcast, and we spend quite a bit of time on doing this podcast. And at this point, we are supporting it. Yep. Podcasts aren't free. There is cost involved for hosting and for website and for all those different things, and we're paying it out of pocket. And we would love for feeling supported by you, said we feel we are giving you a value, and that you feel that way too and give us some value back. And there are all different levels of supporting us.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Yeah. So if you support this our podcast, if you check it out and you like it and you want it to keep going, please feel free to give us a regular donation of any sort. Anything helps, because we want to continue to do this. We do feel that we're having an effect. That's the feedback that we are getting. The podcast is growing every month. We, at this point, are getting at least 1,000 new downloads. So obviously, we're resonating with some of you out there, and we want to ensure that it keeps going. So we're reaching out to you.
Yeah, and as you can see, we're really high tech here. We're sitting in our bedrooms.
Yep.
Or spare bedrooms, which it's not really spare. Like it's everything room. And yes, we do have mics, but they're cheap, and actually we probably both need to order new ones just to have one in case one of them dies. Also things can happen. And as I said, it's not free, and we would love for you to support us. And if you do, thank you so much.
Yep. We appreciate you. We love you guys.
Yep.